Once upon a time, there was you. Not the you who's sitting here right now reading this. Not the you who woke up this morning, stared at the ceiling, and wondered if today would be just another day. No, this is the story of a different you. The you who is unstoppable. The you who looks fear in the face and laughs. Who takes risks with a bold heart. Who doesn't just live life, but commands it. And this is the story of how you became that you. It all started on a day that seemed like any other. You were sitting quietly, scrolling through something, or maybe just lost in your thoughts. Your mind was busy with 1,000 worries. What if this happens? What if that doesn't work out? Why do things feel so hard? Why does it feel like no matter how much you try, there's always something stopping you? That's when you noticed it. A faint noise. A whisper. It wasn't coming from outside. It was coming from inside you. At first, it was just a flicker of a thought, something small. It said, "What if it's not the world holding you back? What if it's you?" You blinked. That couldn't be right. It felt wrong, unfair. But then the voice whispered again, clearer this time, like it wasn't a voice at all, but a feeling that had been waiting for you to notice it. You have the power to change everything. Before you could question it, the room around you shifted. The walls dissolved, and suddenly, you weren't where you had been. You were standing in a vast, open space. The ground beneath your feet glimmered like glass, reflecting the sky above. The air buzzed with energy as though the whole world were alive and waiting for something, waiting for you. Ahead of you stood someone. At first, you didn't recognize them. They were strong, confident, and glowing with a kind of light that felt impossible to describe. And then it hit you. That person was you. Not the you from today, not the you from yesterday, but the you who had figured it all out. The you who knew how to take on the world and win. They smiled at you, not a smug smile, but a warm, understanding one. "I've been waiting for you," they said. Their voice was calm, steady, and full of power. "You don't know this yet, but you're about to change everything." "How?" you asked, your voice trembling. They stepped closer, and as they did, the ground around you transformed. Scenes from your life played out beneath your feet. Times when you felt stuck, moments when you doubted yourself, all the little failures that piled up and made you question whether you were good enough. "You've been living like this is all there is," they said. "But it's not. Your life isn't supposed to be small. You've been playing by rules that don't even matter, following paths that were never meant for you. You've been afraid to take risks because you thought failure meant you weren't good enough. But here's the truth. Failure is the best thing that can happen to you. It's the only way to learn, and right now you're about to learn the biggest lesson of all." The world around you shifted again. Suddenly, you were standing in front of a massive door. It was old, heavy, and carved with strange symbols. You could feel its weight, even from where you stood. "This door leads to everything you've ever wanted," the future you said. "But to open it, you have to leave something behind." "What?" you asked. "Your fear," they replied. The door loomed before you, and your heart pounded. Could you really do it? Could you leave behind the fear that had been with you for so long? It felt impossible. Fear was familiar. It kept you safe, didn't it? But then you looked at the door again and you thought about what was on the other side. You thought about what it would feel like to finally be free, to finally live without limits, to finally stop holding yourself back. So you stepped forward. Your hand trembled as you reached for the door, but you didn't stop. The moment your fingers touched it, the door burst open with a blinding light. When the light faded, you were standing in a world that didn't even seem real. It was beautiful, vibrant, and alive. And it wasn't just the world that had changed. It was you. You felt stronger, braver, and more alive than you ever had before. "Now," said the future you, "it's time to start building the life you were meant to live." They handed you a small, glowing orb. "This is your potential," they said. "It's been with you all along. You just forgot how to use it. But now that you've seen what's possible, you can never go back to the way things were." As you held the orb, memories flooded your mind. Memories of every time you had succeeded. Every time you had been brave, every time you had proven to yourself that you were capable of more than you thought. The orb grew brighter with every memory until it felt like it was part of you, glowing from within. The future you smiled again. Remember this moment, they said. Every time you doubt yourself, every time you feel like giving up, remember what you've seen today. Remember what you're capable of. And remember that the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the belief that you can't have it. But now you know better. And just like that, they were gone. The world around you faded, and you were back where you started. But something was different. You weren't the same anymore. You could feel it in your bones, in your heart, in the way your mind raced with new ideas and possibilities. This wasn't just a story. It was your story. And now it's time to start living it, because the truth is you've always had the power to be unstoppable. You just needed to believe it.